let's get him as a guest. Actually, we need to be careful who we get as a guest because we've had a lot of deaths.
John McAfee, found dead today in a prison cell in Spain. The founder of the antivirus software that bears his name had just been ordered extradited to the United States on tax evasion charges. He faced up to 30 years in prison if convicted. He was 75, and a wild ride of a life it was.
Painkiller Already, episode 493 with our guest, John McAfee. Kyle?
Very cool guest tonight. We've been talking a little bit already. It's been interesting so far. I already challenged you to a duel. You accepted. Unfortunately,
unironically, 3 minutes ago, these guys were talking about like going to South America to shoot one another. Like, that's what you jumped into. So, yeah, very, very excited to have you on, John. You're a very interesting guy. You have the kind of life that when you Google it, I'm like, this can't be real. This has to be like punched up and made up. But no, it does seem to be. You've been arrested in 11 countries, probably working on a 12th. You've done a lot of crazy shit out there.
Do not say that. I'm 74 years old. Now, please, have I not done my time? Have I not served you pricks, you young kids? I'm in prison for you, right? So please, do not anticipate another goddamn jail term. Because you realize that will be my last. You know this. You understand this.
We've had a lot of deaths. Unfortunately, we just had a new one just the other day. John McAfee.
Oh yeah, that's right. Crazy.
Yeah, and it's interesting because he had said that if he's like, I'm happy in prison, the food is good, the people are nice. If anything happens to me, they killed me, and then he dies. Like he hangs himself like a couple days later.
That's so wild. What would he know? Like what? I know he's a big tech guy and he was like uber wealthy. Like,
you know what I think it was?
What?
I think John McAfee really loves attention. Like I think he's a very smart attention whore, and he was like, "They've got me. I'm not dying in prison." Maybe even he was sick. Maybe he had maybe he had cancer or something.
He was really old.
He was very old. He didn't look healthy. Like maybe he was just like, I'm going to kill myself, but they're going to talk about me for a long time.
How
Honestly,
funny would it be though if it was John McAfee who actually had like a dead man switch and a bunch of shit? It wouldn't get covered if he even had any damaging stuff, but that would be funny that of all people, it's the absolute maniac who said that we were dumb for not doing, or we were pussies for not having tried heroin before.
You guys have never taken heroin, have you? Because if you have taken fucking heroin, within a minute, God comes down from heaven and plants a fucking kiss.
Wait, and he had a vagina?
Man, heroin sounds pretty fun.
Oh, please, fuck me. You guys have never taken heroin?
I haven't.
No,
everybody knows God.
People call me a bit of a square because of it. we're very square.
Yeah, I mean, look, I would try it. I just don't know where to get it, John. 76 in prison, like maybe he killed himself. But my guess is he killed himself. The fact that he had like been so adamant that like if I die, they did it. Like I think I think he really loves the attention.
Yeah. Can we talk about the McAfee suicide note? It hasn't been officially transcribed, and I find it really difficult to read, but I will do my best. So they found this suicide note in his pocket. And his wife says it's not real. But yeah, this is the note. You can see why it's so hard to read. It seems to say something close to, I am a phantom parasite. In the present moment, I used it to attain my own ends instead of fully living it. I want to control my future, which does not exist. Throughout knowledge, which mere ashes of memory. I've read it a couple times. That's the best I can do.
Yeah, that's about what I was guessing. So was she saying like that's not his handwriting?
She says it looks like someone who was trying to imitate his handwriting, and that her last conversation with him included, I'll call you tonight. And she thinks that this suicide note is part of the cover-up, even though it does resemble his handwriting. So we have at least 2 guests who've killed themselves so far.
At least 2. I was thinking
allegedly with John McAfee. I was
thinking about that today.
There's no way to know. At 2 that are dead.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about it today when because I spoke to that guy who like owned the whole chain of motorcycle stores, and at one point he was like, so what on some kind of a show you said something about this, and I in my head I was like, yeah, we do this. If he'd asked me what it was about, I was like, we have guests on like John McAfee before he killed himself, and Nate from 60 Days In before he killed himself.
Painkiller Already, episode 502 with our guest Nate Burrell.
Nate, thank you so much for coming on. Anyone who watches my streams on Twitch, Taylor Murka on Twitch, follow me there. Nate is we've watched most seasons of 60 Days In, and we have kind of a power ranking of as the seasons start, we'll be like, oh, dude, this guy's gonna be a bitch. This girl's going to be good. This guy sucks dick. And then every once in a while, and you invest in them. And so I'm like, oh, this guy's very high T, so I'll throw some cash into him. But then he'll get beat up, and it's like I lose all my money, which is unfortunate. You are the highest T, highest stock of anyone on the show in the show's history. I made a lot of fake money on you, so I appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
Nate, you're the only person who did 120 days in. Is that right?
Yeah, so I'm the only person to do 2 seasons. Yep.
Were you... because basically you did so well that the guard's like, hey, you want to just hang out? And what were your thoughts when he came to you? Were you like, fuck this? Or were you like, no, I want to be the best motherfucker this show's ever seen?
So, I mean, to be honest, when they asked, at first just pride kicked in, right? I mean, it was just kind of like one of those things, yeah, let's run it. And then when I realized that they were not kidding, they were being serious, I was like, whoa. Oh, man, I got to think about this for at least a day.
For some reason, Chris Hansen spent an hour talking to these goofballs in their full makeup.
Chris
They
Hansen,
bring a hot chick on halfway through, though.
he used to have like a certain authority and trustworthiness to what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
Now, like...
Then he came on our show.
Uh-huh.
And since then, it's really
It's all been downhill.
Yeah.
Is that what I have to look forward to?
I mean, maybe. Not just
who
your
died
wife,
of cancer that was on the show? Oh, shit. Total Biscuit. I felt disrespectful almost saying it like that, but he's dead.
That's 3.
On October the 15th, 2015, sorry, I was told you probably got 2 years to live. That was 2 years and 5 days ago.
That's crazy.
Fuck cancer, dude.
So fuck those odds and fuck those numbers.
Odds. Yeah.
I think we should introduce the guest first.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you said that. We always just kick into the show. Our guest is Total Biscuit, Total Halibut. Can you explain that disconnect for me? Like I never helped me.
Fuck, man, it's that I've been stuck with that for years. Right, so goes back to when I was playing this game called Planet Side back in about 2004. It's MMO FPS. Yeah, so
I have this thing with like guests that we've had where like I don't remember them after after like the episode is over. Like,
After 11 p.m.
I don't know who Total Biscuit is.
Total Biscuit was a YouTuber. He did game reviews. He was really popular. And I remember the day he came on the show. This was cool to me. He was like, to say tail between his legs puts it into a negative a light, but the internet hated him that day. I forget. He said something that they didn't like. And it was like, hey guys, like we were going to hate him too. And it's like, oh no, we don't give a fuck that the world is mad at you. That's not our concern. Welcome to the show. We like you just fine. And I thought it was a good show. But yeah, he was in some sort of internet hot water the night he came on, and we didn't care. But yeah, I think he had brain cancer. I'm not positive about it being brain cancer, but I think so. And
is that a bad one to have?
Oh yeah,
yeah, not one of the good ones.
Liver cancer.
The list of people that have died. There's Total Biscuit.
Nate from 60 Days In.
Nate from 60 Days In. Obviously, John McAfee, who we just talked about.
Was there anyone else who died? Hopefully not.
There's a couple that aren't long this world.
Yeah,
I know who you're thinking of. I don't want to say it out loud.
Who are you thinking of?
Who are you thinking of, Kyle?
You know.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.
That's right, fat boy.